Earlier today, the president claimed that negotiations on immigration are moving right along and hinted at what a compromise could look like.
If we do this properly, DACA, you're not so far away from comprehensive immigration reform. And if you want to take it that further step, I'll take the heat. I don't care. I don't care. I'll take all the heat you want to give me. And I'll take the heat off both the Democrats and the Republicans.
Oh, he's singing a Nelly song. It's getting hot in here. But will Democrats play ball? Or are we heading toward another game of political chicken? Well, let me ask someone who knows about Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kennedy.
So,
I watched the president today, and I think he was masterful in that meeting. It looked like Dick Durbin and Steny Hoyer were eating lemons there beside the president because he was in full control of the room and leading a bipartisan discussion.
Well, it certainly seemed like the president was having a good time. I was surprised to see cameras allowed in there. What did you make of some of the policy moves, and what can we expect on DACA, immigration, and the spending bill?
Well, one thing that's not apparent yet, but if you're here in Congress, it is apparent. There are actually two bills leaving the station. One is the Senate bill, which has got Durbin and Graham on it, and the other is a House bill that's going to be unveiled tomorrow. My good friend Raul Labrador is helping to draft that bill. It will address such things as chain migration. It's going to have E-Verify in it. I'm not a big fan of E-Verify. We can talk about that if you want. But it will address other things like perhaps sanctuary cities. It will cover a lot of topics, border security, of course, and visa overstays.
So when you say the House bill addresses chain migration, does it end chain migration?
For distant relatives, I think it's still, if you have a minor or a spouse, they could still get a green card.
And what would the status of, the quote-unquote dreamers be under the House plan? Would they be given amnesty, or is citizenship somehow folded into certain groups of people who either obey the law or join the military?
Well, the specifics aren't released yet, and I don't want to get into that. But what I can say is that I don't think there's going to be amnesty in here, if that's what you call it.
Yeah.
I think it will deal with the DACA, the children who are here. By the way, Kennedy, I think this is a manufactured crisis. Look, Obama's, allowances that he made for these children that arrived here only apply to children who got here before January 1st, 2010.
Yeah.
All of the children who got here after January 1st, 2010 have no special privileges or immunities conferred to them by Obama by his prosecutorial discretion. So really, when this deadline hits us, the kids who got here before January 2010 will be treated like the kids who got here after January 2010. It's really not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Now,
well, I mean, it is a big deal if you got here in February of 2010, because you could then be deported, correct?
Right, but that's the case whether we renew DACA or not.
Yeah.
Because the DACA expansion that Obama didn't apply to that.
Okay, so will there be a continuing resolution, or will there be some sort of buttoning up of DACA wrapped in with a spending bill?
I hope they're separate. Really, these things should not be coupled. If the Democrats want to threaten to shut down the government because they don't get some kind of immigration deal, then so be it. I mean, they're for big government. We're for less government. Who wins in that shutdown? I mean, the Democrats will lose politically.
When it's an emotional and rushed policy decision, no one wins. And I think that was one of the main points of my monologue at the top of the show. I think it's incredibly dangerous and short-sighted. And, I don't think any of that stuff should be tied together. But unfortunately, for some of your colleagues there in Congress, there's a lot of can kicking, and another continuing resolution is another symptom of that illness.
Well, under Speaker Boehner, I felt like the budget crisis was manufactured. Under Speaker Ryan, I feel like the budget crisis is genuine. I feel like we're having one crisis after another because he can't get Republicans together here to do a budget and to agree to cut spending.
But you know what?
I'm afraid we'll get another
You and I have talked about this. Your brand of liberty-preserving Republican, very different than some of the statist Republicans who have been infected with populism and Medicaid addiction. All right, well, let's shift gears a little bit, because Congress also has to reauthorize the controversial section of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act by next Friday. That, of course, is Section 702. Privacy advocates have criticized that for a long time as a backdoor for the feds to spy on Americans. The provision allows intelligence agencies like the NSA to collect communications of foreigners and scooping up Americans often at the same time. The identities of those Americans supposed to remain anonymous. But House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes and others have been up in arms about the process of unmasking. And that's how intelligence agencies reveal American identities. So how should Congress deal with Section 702 before next Friday, Congressman?
There will be an amendment made in order. We've been promised that by the Speaker, that will require the federal agencies to get a warrant if they want to go query that database. Query is a code word for search for Americans in that database. They'll have to get a warrant.
Yeah.
We want that amendment to pass. It'll probably be offered tomorrow or the next day. It's a really odd coalition. You've got Indivisible and the ACLU teaming up with FreedomWorks and the Freedom Caucus.
Yeah.
We've got Zoe Lofgren from California and I both on this amendment to try and require a warrant. This is just trying to preserve our Fourth Amendment rights that are guaranteed in the Constitution. That's all we need. Now, ironically, Devin Nunes, who's been doing, the investigations about what happened under the Obama presidency at the end, how the abuses of this program were rampant, he's in favor of renewing the program without having substantial reforms. We need substantial reforms before we renew this program. Just get a warrant.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're running out of time. Quick yes or no. Will this amendment pass?
It's passed twice when I offered it, and it failed once. So I think there's a good chance it will pass if people call their congressman.
All right, Congressman, thanks so much.